lot of the needs that, we talk about a patient-centered approach, they actually know what's going on in regards to Flint as well. You wonder if a doctor was actually in that conversation with the emergency funding, maybe they would have said something. So I think that it is something that needs to be changed, but it's something that the doctors themselves are responsible for. No one's going to invite them to that table. They have to kind of get up and say, I want to be in this conversation. Unfortunately, to do that, there are people who want to be at that table, but they're not doctors, and the people that are doctors don't always think they need to be at that table, or they're doing other things that are always worthwhile. But I think there definitely needs to be kind of a leadership, especially with public health, that doctors need to take kind of a lead on.
And another thing is just that on that way, when you're at the table, right? What happens when the physicians are there and they don't want to listen? Right. That's what austerity is. That's what I mean by it. It's you have your own structure that's blocked. Like the government in the Flint water crisis was very, very. They did not take any outside opinion. They got it from everyone. They're like, no. So I think the biggest thing is that, we have a culture, like I was saying, of compliance, but I think that categorizations just, if you're either sick to this level, there's blanket labeling. And saying high lead level, medium lead level, small lead level, or whatever this labeling that we have, it gives you a certain kind of classification, the regulatory system. So I think that blanket labeling system needs to be changed. Labels are for soup cans, not people. Especially when it comes to looking at different kinds of health issues, because a number can't tell you, in some situations a number won't be able to tell you as much as what the person is telling you. So until we fix our system of design to where we're actually dictating what kind of medical treatment you're going to be getting in the course of action, there's a lot of change that needs to be done. And I think that the biggest thing is that our regulatory systems right now are affiliated with the government. That should never be happening. Politics has no place in health. Human health is of utmost importance. I think we need to have a system in place where you don't have a Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, where we don't have a federal EPA. We have a third party giving us advice about what's going on in our environment. And until that is done with a neutral stance, there's always politics. Politics just doesn't have any play, in my opinion, in addressing health issues. So,
you kind of answered this, but for the other two at least, how do you see healthcare being used as a political tool, and is that good or bad? With both you talked about with Cuba.